There it is. Welcome. Hello. Happy Monday. I'm so pumped to have you here. Thank you for taking the time to listen in about this new opportunity. For those of you who don't know me, I do see familiar faces, but for those of you who don't know me, my name is Jackie. I'm from Philadelphia, PA. I've been teaching in the school district of Philadelphia for almost 20 years. I'm going to enter my 20th year. I should stop giving that number out. I have four small children. And my husband and I are always, as teachers, we were always looking for side jobs, right? So everything under the sun, you name it, we did it. Tutoring, yoga, instructor, bartender, and network marketing came into our life to sort of alleviate a lot of that. So I'm a believer in what we have here, and I'm super excited for this a new opportunity and to introduce you to the one who is steering the ship here. Her name is Angelique. She's married. She's a mama to three girls, and she wildly successful in corporate America, like 6-time cover model. I just found out today. World champion martial arts. I just found out today. But network marketing was the ramp to full-time entrepreneurship here, which is pretty phenomenal. Her and her husband, David, had over a decade of experience in direct sales. They have built an organization of more than 40,000 people. They're multiple six-figure earners. So we know that they know how to do the thing, which I love. So when I came over, the onboarding system, seamless. Angelique support, amazing. She's actually not at home, and she scheduled her travel plans around us so she could be here with us tonight for this exclusive call. So I'm not going to take it too much time. I'm going to turn it right over so you guys can hear all about three tonight. Thanks, Angelique.
Thank you, Jackie. And thank you all for being here tonight. I just want to honor everybody's time. I see a lot of beautiful faces here and probably curious minds. And I know what it's like to be in a position to looking at a new opportunity, whether you're familiar with the industry or not at all. And I'll just kind of share really quick before I open up a presentation just from my heart. First of all, like I always want to make sure that, you have your own head and heart check as well, like wherever you're at right now, I want to honor and just let you know that I've probably felt whatever emotion you're experiencing. And sometimes when it's brand new, it's new and different. And other times when you're transitioning, like, oh my gosh, here we go again. Right. So I've totally been on both sides of that. And I just want to honor you tonight. My husband and I have been in direct sales for network for 11 years, 10 of which have been full-time. It brought us home with our children. Like Jackie shared, we have three girls, never got the boy, just done for now. So we have a male dog, and he'll probably make some noise here in a little bit, but it's been a huge blessing in our life. And it was something that we actually built in our original company for 8 straight years. We didn't know any different. It was one of the greatest runs that we've ever had. We had phenomenal products. We had a great culture and a great compensation plan. Unfortunately, over time, things changed. Products changed, comp plan changed, ownership changed, culture changed. And my husband and I are people of conviction. So when we feel moved and convicted that something is no longer aligning with us, we didn't want to collect money on the backs of hardworking people, even though we had built something so substantial in an 8-year time frame. So in January of 2020, we actually resigned and walked away from it all. We really didn't know. We didn't know what was next for us. It looked foolish to the world. It caused all kinds of really weird stories, that we got paid to leave and go other places, which is just absolutely absurd. But we ended up consulting for the industry, both in and out of network marketing. My husband, because of the pandemic, there was a lot of different changes going on with companies like Nationwide Insurance, Advent Health, and all these sales forces found themselves online. So we've done a lot of training in and out of the industry for C-suite executives all the way down to sales teams. And so leadership is our thing. It's something that we care deeply about, discipling people through opportunities and allowing it for just to be the vehicle, right? It was the vehicle that brought us home. And when we decided that we were going to build again, it was going to have to look pretty different than it did the first time around. Even though the first go around was amazing, we were still 1,000 miles an hour with our hair on fire. And it was really about what we could do with our life and fund our dreams. And so this go around is really, it's not our first rodeo. So what we really desire to do is to maximize everyone's time, energy, check, and experience here, and just to be a blessing to others, because it's blessed our lives immensely. And as platitude as that might sound and cliche, it really is the truth. You will not get sensationalizing from me or my husband. We don't do hype. We just, what you see is what you get. And I care deeply about enough of this industry to love on people wherever they are. I believe that you add value wherever you go. And when people are at high noon, that's when people typically make discussions or decisions. So maybe you're at high noon today, maybe you're not, but wherever you are, we just honor where you are. And I just want to meet you where you are tonight. Okay, fair enough. Okay, yeah, okay, great. I'm going to go ahead and pull up a slide presentation just to kind of share with you a little bit about our company and who we are. And now I just lost my Zoom page, so 1 second. Share screen. Okay. And whoops, that's not the one I wanted. Sorry about that. Okay. All right, so welcome everybody. Thank you so much for being here tonight. I want to first start off by saying I had a message last night that or at church that really hit home for me, and it was I think that we've all heard similar things like small minds kill big dreams, but it was talking about the story of David and Goliath, and everybody at the time of the giant Goliath, everyone thought that Goliath was too big to hit, and David thought Goliath was too big to miss. So really what I want to do is, even though I have something to share with you tonight that's about this company, that's about these products, and about an opportunity, I really want to make this about you. For us, when we first started in this industry, it was like, maybe we just start small. It was paying a couple of bills here and there. And then before we knew it, we had a whole year under our belt of doing something casually that looked kind of promising. And we finally made a decision to take the wheels off, an opportunity that allowed for us to come home. So whatever that is for you, I think that there's opportunity for everyone. And it does start with the opportunity of sharing something. So first and foremost, this is my family. This is my husband. This is my big dog, Elvis, who I shared with you a minute ago that could be making some noise here in a little bit. He's my redheaded stepchild, as I call him, because he's a redheaded golden doodle. That's my husband, David, and my 3 girls, Ella, Phoenix, and Noah. That was actually almost 2 years ago. So they've grown quite a bit. My husband and I are really deep into our faith. That's our dear friend, Mark, and business partner. He has to be baptized not that many years ago. And then of course, my husband is the life of the party and a very big yellow personality. So as you can see in the bottom right-hand corner there, if you're familiar with any of the Christmas movies, what's it, National Lampoons, what is the movie? Yeah, that's what it is, full over there. So he's like Uncle Eddie standing there.
Like Christmas Vacation.
Yes, Christmas Vacation. Yes, so that's my husband. He'll do things like that. He's put me up to it for many years. I've learned that if he puts a camera in my face, I'm just supposed to act. I can't ask questions. So that's a little bit about who we are in a nutshell. But in this industry, it's just about having the right skill set. As Jackie shared, have a large fitness background, but I was also a professional martial artist. But we're a podcaster. My husband's a journalist. He's written a few books. He's always been a journalist. So it's really about taking the skill set you already have and applying it to opportunities. And so the questions I'm going to ask you tonight before you look at this is always ask yourself, for you, like, does this make sense? Like, is it in alignment with your core values? Does it fill a need for you? Okay. Does it fill a need for the marketplace? And does it fit into the present and the future? And the reason I ask that question is it's for me, anytime I make a decision, especially when it comes to business, and especially when I look at the marketplace and its needs, I ask, is it timeless and timely? Meaning, is it like timeless in nature? Is it timeless naturally? Is it timeless in the sense that it's not going to go out of style? It's not a flash in the pan. It's not a gimmick. It's not a trend, but it's also timely for what we're facing. And I feel like what we're going to talk tonight about health and the kind of the blue ocean that's been carved here with our product is it's timely. It's timely because we know that we need something. We know we're living in a bankrupt society nutritionally. But at the same time, we need to make sure that we're not just a me too. Okay. Does it matter to your health? Does it matter to your wealth and your finances? Does it in your bottom line? And does it matter to your goals, right? Again, going back to you, what's in it for you? That's everyone's favorite radio station is WIIFM, you know, what's in it for me? And the thing is like, it always has to come down to these principles. These are principles that we talk about in our training programs, as well as our podcast and my husband's books. So I wanted to share them here with you tonight. Does it compromise who you are, what you believe in? Does it fit into your core values? Do the people align with you? I think that anytime you make decisions like this, you're going to kind of be doing life with people in a sense. You know, when you do business, you're interacting with people on a daily basis. And so you want to make sure that it's a good fit. Okay. So if we're a good fit for you, and Jackie obviously is an amazing fit for so many people, as well as Jen on here, you know, I just feel like if you're here listening, that means that people are doing something right. And there's obviously an alignment. Does it get you closer to or further away from your vision, right? Like if you find yourself in a position where you're falling behind, you know, I think to myself, is your check up or down? Are you you know, ahead of the 8 ball or behind the 8 ball? Like, where are you in your journey? And what you're looking at, does it help you move in the direction that you need to move? Really, ultimately, it's really simple questions that we ask ourselves every single day to make sure that we're moving in the right direction. We call them hallways in our life, like down the hallway of our faith, hallway of our marriage, hallway of our body, hallway of our finances. Like these are things that aren't trapped in 4 walls. Like they're going to take you from one place to another in your life. And you have to constantly be flipping the switch, because otherwise the hallway can get pretty dark, right? So we want to always make sure that we have our eye on the ball. So 3 is a proactive wellness company. We have 6 very, very simple products here. They were actually formulated and designed to work as one product. So while you can create your own like concoction out of all of them, they were really designed and formulated to be one. And they're incredibly synergistic as a result of that. What I will share with you tonight a little bit about our chief science officer and where we come from is we're purists. Okay. So this is our farm in 3 Medicinal Plant Institute in Thailand. We actually bought property there where the soil is incredibly clean, the air is incredibly clean and pure, and they're doing the majority of their research and curation there on phytonutrients. Phytonutrients are just the medicinal part of a plant, and we're going to talk about that here in a minute. The name 3 comes from their 3 pillars. Okay, so people, purpose, and platform. We will not veer from this. People is, you know, just primarily what they understand, that is their greatest asset. This is who moves it. You develop people, people move product, right? And it's really going to come down to making sure that those are honored first. Then giving people a purpose for, you know, to fulfill something that's on your heart. Like I said earlier, for me personally, like I knew it was going to be coming home with my children and my husband, but I also knew that we wanted to have positive cash flow and working capital to fund different things and businesses that were going to cost money. So rather than take out loans for it, how could we do it, right? So it really comes down to what the purpose is for you, and a platform for just entrepreneurs. Again, building network marketing is really not about flying a flag for a company. It's the on-ramp for entrepreneurship. Think about that. Right? When you're driving onto an interstate, it's the on-ramp. It's like a training wheel program. And so we got our training wheels in entrepreneurship through network marketing, because you learn to lead large teams, you learn to deal with personalities. Of course, you're not having to meet all the payroll because the company takes care of all of that, shipping, customer service, fulfillment, the whole 9 yards. But it definitely gives you an opportunity to develop yourself in a way that entrepreneurs are required in their mindset and their skill set in order to become more and do more. This was founded from our CEO, Daniel PQ. PQ is French, which is why you're going to see a lot of our product names in French. I will not speak with a French accent tonight, so you'll just hear me say them in the very American way. But what I was most impressed about with Daniel is he's actually a foster boy. He wasn't born with a silver spoon in his mouth. He had to work for everything. He had no parents, no mentorship, and he has worked his way in his craft to get where he is. And it says a lot about him and his heart. I've had many opportunities to just interact with him, talk to him on a daily and weekly basis. And he's always been direct, always been honest. And he just shoots me straight. Right. So my husband and I have a saying in our house. It's like, don't blow smoke up my butt, like just give me it straight. And so we always like to have the truth because we believe the truth is good enough. And he's just been really truthful and direct with everything that I've asked and shared, because if we were going to make a decision to build again, I wanted to have the opportunity to ask hard questions. And he's always been really available and really honest. He also didn't get raised in network marketing, which actually was a plus for me, because sometimes I find that people that only have been in network marketing can't see outside of that little world and industry. Daniel understands that our competition is not other network marketing companies, it's Amazon, right? It's the way that the marketplace moves. It's the way that people demand things in the world through buying behavior, as well as just the meeting the needs of the marketplace and what people are saying. So he's really good at building out e-commerce spaces and things of that nature that are meeting with the world standards of buying now. Dr. Dan Gubler, he is like the coolest nerd you'll ever meet in your life. And I know he would appreciate me saying that. He's actually our chief science officer, but a Caltech chemist. So if you're familiar with Caltech, you know that some of the most highly trained chemists in the world come out of this university, which also any Nobel Prize that you've ever seen, I would venture to say 8 of them probably come from Caltech graduates. They are incredibly smart people. He's a pedigree. He comes from a family of formulators. His grandfather actually formulated vitamin B1. So kind of a big deal, right? But his grandfather actually passed away of cancer. And at that point in time in his life and his career, who he was really close with, he was like, if I'm going to do this, like, how am I going to do things differently? Like, how am I going to look at the world differently? What am I going to, what is going to be my mission essentially when I go into the lab? I'm not going to just do this through chemicals. I want to do chemistry through nature. And so his whole mission really is around phytonutrients. He looks at phytonutrients, plants, like I look at my children. Okay, it's pretty cool to watch him, but he talks about how there's 600,000 species of phytonutrients and only 5% have been discovered for their medicinal properties. And he also talks about when they go extinct, okay, that we're actually going to lose the ability to understand how powerful they can be for the human body. And just the same as when we're talking about chemistry, is the same as like you would want to trust somebody in your kitchen. You have to make sure things go together well. Right? So we want synergistic products. We want synergistic molecules. We want synergistic ingredients because we don't want them to be counterintuitive, and you don't want your pantry filled with hundreds of products that are canceling each other out and become expensive waste in your body. So he's really big on the exploring and the curating and the absorption of our products. Okay, so these are the 3 pillars of our science. So they literally explore the world for the most profound and potent phytonutrients out there. That's part of this plant medicinal research we have. Like, they are spending all this time in Thailand researching those soils and phytos so they can discover them for the formulations. And he's so big on the curating because of the chemistry side of him. They're making sure that it meets the body's specific needs, as well as creates that synergistic compound effect over time. Because the last thing you want when you're using anything is for it to your body gets immune to things after a while, right? They become desensitized and they don't feel as good, or you just don't feel as much, and it becomes apathy. Your body's like apathetic to the product. I've noticed this is actually the first time in my life now as an athlete. You can imagine I have tried every supplement known to man. I've had meaningful experiences in the past, like my first go around in my first company, I had a great meaningful experience until they changed formulations. Which that was a totally different meaningful experience to cost me a lot of money and medical bills. But what I can tell you is that this has been probably the most profound visceral experience I've had head to toe. Like, it was more than just like, wow, I have a lot of energy and, my clothes fit better, right? This is more energy, focus, word recall, sleep, where I'm actually dreaming again for the first time in years. My cycle, my digestion, visceral inflammation around my body, my skin, my hair, my nails, my mood. Like, I find my husband funnier, there's just things that they're noticeable on a daily basis. I'm like, wow, like I forgot what it feels like this to be firing on all engines. And the reason why too is not just from our exploration and curation, it's the final piece, which is the golden thread that you will find on every single box of all of our products. It's our absorption technology. This is where we win, okay? Cellular absorption technology is what we do, and this is why we're first to market. So I'm going to share with you a few things tonight on that, because I mean, just raise your hand, and I can't see all of you, but raise your hand if you've heard of liposomes, like liposomal technology. Okay, so I see Sarah hands up, okay, and Jen's hands up, and Jessica, okay. So Jackie, Nikita, okay, so liposomes, this is just one of our delivery systems, by the way, all right? Liposomes have been around since the 1960s. They were actually patented and used primarily and only really in big pharma. So infusion therapies, chemotherapies, medicinal therapies, all through an IV with liposomal technology. Once a patent is lifted, especially in big pharma, because they usually get it first, it becomes free market. So you'll see liposomal vitamin C on Amazon, right? But you're only going to see liposomal vitamin C. You're not going to see vitamin C with all the other vitamins or many other ingredients, because it's based off of a molecule size. So what we do differently is we actually pair molecule sizes with delivery technologies that match, because not everything can be delivered through a liposome. Some of it has to be nano delivery, some of it has to be enzyme, some of it has to be glycoprotein matrix, but all of it is basically like getting IV nutrition, but through your mouth without a needle. Okay, see IV, like the IV infusion clinics that are popping up everywhere, and everyone's going to get like bags of cocktails and mocktails and Myers cocktails and all those things. We basically do that through our mouths. So we start absorbing them the minute we put them in our mouth. Every single one of our products circumvents digestion. And this was a new concept for me to understand. I was like, what do you mean? Like, how can you circumvent digestion? Well, they actually bypass the intestinal wall. So they break down so fast, and the nutrients, like the liposomes, for instance, the nutrients of a liposome is the same nutrients around our cells. So our cell sees a liposome and it goes, oh, cool, one of me, you know? And so we actually start to absorb things at a cellular level, and it gets shuttled into different parts of our body very quickly. The first things that we do that with is our vitality, okay, or vitality. It's not like really a multivitamin. It's got the superfood blend and multivitamin complex, but I want you to look at all of the different things here, okay? It is, first of all, one of the most convenient things to take, because it's only one little packet a day, but it's a superfood blend. Of course, all your natural vitamins and minerals, digestive enzymes. So digestive enzymes are something I've always had to take separately. These are included. Of course, your omegas, 72 trace minerals and amino acids. I used to go to like a protein shake to get that. Pre and probiotics in a berry blend. So this is like 4 to 5 different products in one. This alone right here, by the way, if you look at the very bottom here, notice this on every single one of the products I'm going to share with you tonight. None of our products, none of them contain any artificial ingredients, colors, flavors, additives, gluten, casein, dairy, soy, corn, nuts, sugar, artificial preservatives, lubricants, fillers. We are as clean as they come. Okay. And that's a really big deal, because again, they're purists. So what they want to do is make sure that whatever we're absorbing at the highest level. We have 0 synthetics in any of our products. We are 100% whole food and plant-based. This product right here, I would say, like, you know how you have like a sticky product in some lines where everybody's on this, everybody talks about it, everybody has a story. Revive is one of them. This one was actually recommended to my husband from a Mayo Clinic ophthalmologist. This is really when I was like, okay, maybe we should start paying attention to this company, because now this is the 3rd time I've heard of it, and it came to us through a surgeon. This is liposomal curcumin. So if you're familiar with curcumin or turmeric, it's probably one of the most potent, powerful anti-inflammatories in the world, hands down, hands down. The issue is that it's incredibly difficult to absorb. So if you're familiar with curcumin, you know how hard it is to absorb. This is why it's always paired with black pepper. Okay, you can never really absorb curcumin without black pepper, right? And I see that Marianne is nodding her head. She's heard this before, she knows. But at the same time, black pepper is actually kind of a gut irritant. Too much of it, and you can kind of create a leaky gut, in your body. We've eliminated that. So now we're a liposomal version of that, and we have liposomal curcumin, the boswellia, black cumin oil for blood stagnation. All of these are associated with a natural major anti-inflammatory response. So the reason this was introduced to my husband is because unfortunately we lost my father-in-law tragically in January, and my husband was doing the eulogy, and that day he woke up with like this really red inflamed eye, and we thought like he broke a blood vessel, and instead it was a month later. We were still trying to figure it out, and it turned out that it was potentially autoimmune related and something new. So we'd consulted multiple doctors, and finally I just got really frustrated, and I asked to speak with a gentleman who happened to be, and I didn't know this, on the scientific advisory board of 3. So I was consulting with him about my husband's eye. I had no idea he was involved with 3. And he started sharing different things that he thought my husband should do outside of the pharmaceuticals, which was shocking to hear from a gentleman that, is a Johns Hopkins University trained Mayo Clinic doctor. And he said, your doctors care a lot about you, but not nearly as much as you need to care about yourself. He said, I'm at odds with my industry. As much as I love what I do, I really enjoy being proactive about my health and the health of my patients. So David, I'm going to give you a piece of advice around a few things here that I think you need to be doing. And he gave him some advice around his diet. And then the next thing he said was, you need to be on liposomal curcumin right away. And I was like, okay, great. Like, where do you tell me to get that? I'll get it off full script or whatever. And he said, no, you need to call our friend Ricky, who was one that introduced us to the doctor. And I said, well, what does Ricky have to do with it? And he said, I'm on scientific advisory board for 3. I said, that's it. Like, I need to figure out what's going on here, because this company has come up multiple times. So this is where we started to really look deeper. And my husband was on 60 milligrams of prednisone at the time as a result of what was going on. And he was able to wean off of that and get on the curcumin simultaneously. And he's had no problems, knock on wood. Thank you, thank you, Lord. So, so many amazing blends here. But again, at the very bottom, you see what it does not contain. This is on all of our products. Okay, any questions so far? Okay. And I haven't been able to watch the chat, so I apologize. Yes, no sucralose. Thank you so much, Jackie. Okay, real quick. Sorry, I didn't mean to hit that again. Eternal, okay, or eternal, they'll say eternal. This is, again, another favorite, a huge fan favorite. So when we talk about IV clinics, we hear a lot about people going to get glutathione, right? Glutathione bags. Anyone hear about glutathione in the recent past or, in the last few years? It's a huge, huge deal, huge antioxidant. This is liposomal glutathione. So instead of paying $150 a pop every time you go get a needle, if you were going to do it, you can take it every single day through your mouth, as well as resveratrol, which we have 200 milligrams of resveratrol in it. There's some marine collagen in here, superfoods, and coenzyme Q10, which, by the way, fun fact, CoQ10 is about to be on your list of daily essential vitamins and minerals. Like, they're going to be passing some kind of thing in the FDA. So again, none of these are containing artificial ingredients, colors, flavors, additives, gluten, casing, wheat that you can read, right? We are as pure as they come. This gives you a ton of energy, but oddly enough, if you take it before bed, you will also sleep like a baby. Don't ask me to explain the science on that one, but I have tried it and I fell right asleep. Collagen being all the craze, we also have one. This contains 5 grams of highly bioavailable marine collagen, as well as hyaluronic acid, keratin, vitamin C, biotin, pomegranate juice. What I really love about this one, besides the fact that it's hydrolyzed and micronized, it's a 10-day on, 20-day off cycle. So this actually teaches your body to recreate collagen and start generating on its own, so you don't become dependent on it. I think anytime that you're able to cycle something like this tells you that its potency, as well as how effective it is in nature. So this is actually, I've tried probably, I would say 3 or 4 different collagens in the last 5 years. And this is the first one that I have been like, that was very noticeable, even in the first few days. Okay, sleeping giant, the immune. If you haven't heard of the word immunity in the last 3.5 years, I don't know where you've been, but we've all been talking about it, right? And this product right here is patented. There's no other product on the market like it. All right. There's a few things in here I want to point out. One is obviously, we have liposomal curcumin, reishi mushroom, I don't know how to say it, our Garcias blazai, nano silver. These are all things that I've taken and keep in my pantry. Zinc, vitamin C, to inhibit quorum sensing. Who's heard of quorum sensing? Anybody? Okay, and shake your head no, because I hadn't either. This is a recent discovery, probably in the last decade or so. Quorum sensing is actually a discovery of how bacteria communicates. So bad bacteria that we do not want growing in our body, as well as bacteria that's bad enough that creates biofilms. They disguise themselves. They'll put a biofilm around themselves and it'll hide in your body, right? And therefore your body doesn't attack it, and therefore it grows and it comes out of control. This support blend actually attacks that communication and shuts it off. So it's patented. And again, first to market, nobody else has this. We have been traveling a lot the last few months in very large crowds. I can't tell you how many run-ins where I would get a call the next day and say, I have strep. I'm so sorry. I was talking in your face all night long, like a close talker. And I would take the immune and be 100% fine. I also give this to my children. Outside of the quorum sensing, it has, of course, your calcium, elderberry, lion's mane, vitamin D3, aloe vera, vitamin E, cordyceps, maitake, trace minerals, vitamin A, selenium. Like, it is the most potent immune blend I've ever taken. So again, what I want to tell you is this like a hill I'm going to die on is a natural health and holistic health and functional health. I have a pantry that looks like an apothecary. I have literally replaced everything in my pantry. I'm not kidding. I will not sensationalize with the 6 products. I've gone down from like 50 bottles to 6 products because it covered all these bases. Purify, the final one, is our daily whole body detox. Okay, so this detoxes and cleanses 5 different organs in our body, from our liver to our lungs to our colon, kidneys, and skin. You can take this daily very gently. I know there's a way I've heard to do it where you can actually do a deeper cleanse. I haven't tried it, nor do I really know the protocol. But this is because we're facing all kinds of things on a day-to-day basis, no matter what we're doing, from what we're eating to what we're drinking to what we're breathing. We really just kind of can't get away from it, so this is just a gentle way of removing this from your body, and allowing for things to just move along. Okay. This is not a bathroom cleanse, but you will notice an increase in your digestion and regularity as well. Humic shale, very, very powerful. Fulvic acid pulls many things out of your body that they have like a cage, okay, that pulls different charges of ions out of your body that don't belong there. Coriander, dandelion, kelp, apple pectin, chlorophyll, liposomal milk thistle, and burdock, mullein leaf, stinging nettle. I mean, we could spend all day really deep diving through the science here, but just know that these were all, once again, designed based off of real clinical studies, which all the data that you need to see is available, based off what we know of the human body to benefit from head to toe, foundationally and functionally. So the major approach really here is like a metaphor of like how you would build a house, right? Vitality being your foundation, okay? Immune being like your guard dog, protecting it, the purify, taking out the trash, eternal with, a true protection over, like with a roof over your head, revive, structurally keeping things sound, and then collagen, how do things look on the outside, right? Because we all want to age gracefully, let's be honest. Okay. This is actually one of our studies. We actually just released this. This was done in actual pharmaceutical labs where they test pharmaceuticals. So it's not something that they do just on their own in their little bathtub, right? Like they're actually going through real medical studies here. They are real scientists. This is very interesting. So this is your standard organic control molecule of what we typically would take in our pantry. Most, if not 95% of products are white labeled. Okay. And I'll get to that in just a second. But as you can see here, against the standard control molecule, we are anywhere from 3 to 9.5 times more absorbable. Okay, so just think about that. That means 30 to 95% more absorption from these products, from our Revive to our Eternal. This was just released. They talked about it at grand opening when we were there in May, and they just published this about a week and a half ago. So this is available in our back office. You can pull it and read the entire thing. This is just a snapshot. We pre-launched in February of 2023 this year, and we did it in 14 countries, which is the largest pre-launch in history of any network marketing company, with 100 countries soon to follow. What I want to share with you tonight is there's multiple ways to get started, and I'm going to cover a couple of things here for you to understand. One is you can create your own pack, right? You don't have to even start with any of these packs, but what we do share with you immediately is the fact that even at our intro level, you can activate your brand ambassador position, which essentially, once you're at 100 points for 52 weeks, you're a brand ambassador. 52 weeks, you guys, okay? It's crazy. Which means like customer orders count towards your active status, the whole 9 yards, all right? We have our premium pack, business builder pack, and founders pack. Now, as you can see, under each one of these, they will show you some bullet points of the incentives that go along with it. Okay, so the intro pack is activating your position as a brand ambassador. There's some leadership matching bonuses that you'll have access to for your first 12 weeks in your premium pack. Business builder pack, you've got matching bonuses on ranked, $45 cycles. There's compensation plan jargon here too, but 60 CV that's pushed for 3 4-week periods, which I'm going to share just a second what that means, and 500 CV pushed immediately. Now, those little bubbles that are on each box, okay, like here and here, that's the quantity that comes with this pack. So let me just share with you a little bit more about what the founders pack is so that you can understand. The founders pack is just a unique situation. Okay. The reason why it's because it's limited. We're in the beginning. We just started this back in February. We had our grand opening in the United States in May. We grand opened in Hong Kong in June. So we're open now. So all the pre-launch is behind us, but we're getting close to that 20,000 mark for founders. What the founders position is a few things. One is you're going to get $440 of free products, right? But with the quantity there, it's going to cover you, your spouse, anyone in your household for actually 4 months. So you wouldn't have to even make an additional purchase to stay active in this opportunity until your 5th month. Okay. So you get your product up front, it's shipped to you, you have your stash. You could sell it if you wanted to, but I don't usually recommend it. I usually use it for personal use. But you would not have to make that additional purchase yet to stay active, because they're going to push commissionable volume into your account every single month to keep you active and paid. So you'll have 3 months of that smart chip included, meaning you have your first month when you purchase that you're active, and then 3 months of smart ship included. So nothing's being shipped because you'll have it all at once, but you will have active status pushed to your account. You'll have 3 levels of check match, which we have up to 7 generations of check match. Don't confuse level with position. Okay. Generations here mean if I enroll you, you're my level 1. If you enroll someone, they're my level 2. If that level 2 enrolls someone, that's my level 3. So it's kind of like blood cousins, right? First, second, third cousins, so on and so forth. So it doesn't matter if it's 10,000 people deep in your organization in our binary, you're still my level 1 if I personally enrolled you. Okay. So you'll have up to 3 levels of check match without even being ranked in this company for your first 3 months. That means if you hadn't even ranked up to 3-star, which is like 3,600 in volume, you will be check matched on 3 generations of people that you put there. You also get to participate in a 2% global revenue share. Okay. This is a big deal. So we have a 3% global leadership pool that's available for 4-star and above, which again, this is jargon on compensation plan that will be for another time, but we would have a whole 5% that you'd have access to if you were a founder. And what this means is out of 20,000 people, which we know that herd will thin, okay, just over time, because not everyone's going to enroll 5 personally enrolled customers. Okay, that's by the way, the only requirement is that you're active and that you enroll 5 personally enrolled customers or brand ambassadors, either or, to the tune of $600 in a 4-week rolling period, not each. So cumulatively over those 5 people. That would keep you in the founders pool where you would have your first share. All your other shares, which can grow exponentially, come from the amount of volume that's in your organization that you're producing and your rank. So it all compounds. But what we know is two things. One is there might be 20,000 available, but not all 20,000 are going to participate. Of those 20,000, some might do the bare minimum, but the ones that are really going to go for it are going to have the lion's share, right? Because as global revenue grows and founders, pool participants go down, your shares are going to grow. So this is a long game play and an investment into your future. There's at least 3 founders on this call, and myself included. So this one was originally going to be slated for $2,400, but it's $1,960. So therefore you're getting that $440 in free product. Alongside of it, you will also get access to everything that we have built. So UCrew is actually our partners. That's their team name. We have our own team name, but we all work together really synergistically. We've built everything on boards. It's on the keyboard on your phone. I know that Jen and Jackie have had access to it. It's incredibly systemized, like all of the resources that you could possibly need are right there. You each get your own individual thread with your entire support team. So we're assigned to you. So that means you're not just thrown in one big large chat where people can quietly slip away. You can reach out to us any given time so that we can be there to support you, answer questions, do connect calls, whatever you need. But at the end of the day, like I said, and how I started this is everyone comes with, a different goal in mind, different dream in mind. Okay. So just put yourself in a group. And that's what I want you to do is out of these 4 groups, one being, I'm just not open. I'm not open. I don't want to invest in my health. I don't want to make any extra money at this time. It's entirely okay. Not for everybody. If you're a group 1, just let us know you're a group 1. You can say it in the chat. You can say it privately. Just let people know who invited you here. Group 2, you definitely want to be, you're interested and committed to a healthier lifestyle, and you would love to try the product line, but maybe the business is not for you. We have such a profound product line. I know for a fact it will bless you no matter what. So group 2 is always a win. Group 3, you're not only excited to try the products, but you definitely like to make some money part-time. And group 4 is, I'm all in. I'm all in. I'd love to be a founder. I want to have an equity share at the beginning of this, since we're at the start of a new company with a phenomenal infrastructure. Let's make sure that you guys understand that we're here to serve you no matter where you are. Now, the final thing that I want to say, hold on, let me just close that out, is when it comes to, getting started here, everybody has the same opportunity. So no matter where you start, you're going to have the same access, the same systems, the same support, no matter what it might be. But at the end of the day, we just want you to know that there's nothing too little that you can do and nothing too much that you can do. We just want to meet you where you are. So what kind of questions might you have at this point after hearing everything I just shared with you? Because I want to make sure that nobody walks away here feeling unclear or something was confusing. By the way, one thing I didn't share that was not in my slide presentation that I want you to understand how powerful we are. All 6 of our products are in the PDR. Okay. The PDR stands for, back in the day, it stood for the Physician's Desk Reference Database. It's a huge, big blue book, right? That doctors would keep on their desk. And it's all the pharmaceutical information and inserts and everything that they needed to know. Now it's the PDR, which stands for the Prescriber's Digital Reference Database. So you could literally go to pdr.net right now. You have access to this, even though you're not a medical professional. You can look up on pdr.net 3, THREE. All 6 of the products are going to come up there. What that means is this, okay? It's going to just show you basically a lot of what I showed you tonight. But what it means is we are not white labeled. So I wanted to go back to what I said. 95+% of companies are white labeled products. That means that if I wanted to create my own water or my own vitamin, I could go to a contract manufacturer and say, hey, I would really like to create Angelike's vitamins, superfood vitamins. What do you got? And they're well, here's our formulas. You can't have access to anything. You can't have access to any of our clinicals. You can't have access to our data or our testing. We really can't tell you everything that's in it, but we can put what our labels on it. You want to sprinkle some proprietary dust on it to make it yours. and call it your little fairy tale, you can have it. So that's pretty much what we see on the shelves. And a lot of companies do this. Okay. Lots and lots and lots, including network marketing. We do not. There's no way that a nutraceutical of any kind is going to be in the physician's desk reference database as a white label product. That's number one. Can't happen because medical licensure is on the line, right? So what does that mean? We need access to data, clinicals, third-party testing, all the things. So none of them have been white labeled. We are 100% full on formulations of Dr. Dan. And we work with multiple manufacturers to have the standards of, that they're meeting. So I wanted to make sure that I didn't forget to share that with you, because I think it's an important piece of information for you to walk away with tonight. We're just not a Me Too company. Again, I'm the type of person that if I'm going to hitch my wagon to something, it can't be a flash in the pan. It can't be a Me Too. I'm big on carving blue oceans. Okay. So the final thing I'll say here before we open up for question is this. Did anyone ever read any books from